Okay. Okay, we are live. We are live. Welcome to Own Your Power in 2021. I'm Aldwyn Altuney, hosting this amazing event today with the beautiful Foxxy Eleoyze, known as the Empowerment Sage. And today's webinar is extremely exciting because if you're anything like me, you will know that now is the time, and 2020, of course, has been a hell of a year. And I'm sure we're all looking forward to 2021. And if you want it to be your best year yet, it's important that you do something to make it so, right? It's not going to just happen. You need to own your power, step into your power in 2021 to have your best year yet. So what I am going to do now is I am going to introduce the amazing Foxxy Eleoyze, who will be presenting for most of today. I'll come back on at the end. We will have questions and answers at the end. So if you have any questions, if you're on the live Zoom or if you're watching this on Facebook right now, welcome, wherever you're joining us from anywhere in the world. Please pop in the chat. Actually, where are you right now? Where are you? Just pop into the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Where are you? And if you have any questions as we go along, we'll be monitoring the chat on the live Zoom and on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook and want to join the live Zoom, you can do that through Eventbrite. Just join on Eventbrite. We have registrations open for the next 90 minutes or so. And you can actually hop on the live Zoom. So register in Eventbrite, you'll receive the Zoom link to join us live. Okay, and here's a little intro now for the beautiful Foxxy, the Empowerment Sage. Now, Foxxy is an intuitive facilitator. She's a master results coach, NLP and hypnosis trainer, a neurological therapist, pranic and light wave energy worker. She's an artistic creator, keynote speaker, and soon to be author. Foxxy has created the 9 archetypes of your inner power, which we're actually going to be covering on this webinar today, to help her clients connect into their body, integrate their emotions, and strengthen their intuition so they have greater confidence to easily move through any difficult situation they may find themselves in. She prides herself as an out-of-the-box facilitator, creating fun and playful experiential journeys that are deeply and profoundly transformational, seeing the clients she works with grow and flourish in their relationships, business, and personal life. Now, I recently attended an amazing retreat with Foxxy. It was called Reclaim Your Sass here on the Gold Coast. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it and can't wait to see what Foxxy has to share today. So please welcome the amazing Foxxy, the Empowerment Sage. Over to you, Foxxy.
Yay. Wow, thank you so much, Aldwyn, for that amazing introduction. Yeah, so we'll just kick off and get straight into it, I think. Own your power in 2021. How to gain clarity, confidence, and cash flow. How cool is that? So just in case you're not familiar with Zoom, chances are you probably are. If you want to type in the chat, just click on this icon here and then just type over here. And if you have any questions or want to say anything, just pop it in there. So what you think affects what you feel, and what you feel affects what you think. And what you feel and think affects how you act. So chances are you might be experiencing one or some of all of the following. You might be at a point in your life where you're lacking focus, you've got lots of things going on, and you're having probably a new vision for 2021. You might be time poor, so it might feel like you're often just spinning your wheels, but you're not really getting anywhere. So you're lacking the time or the know-how to move through and get things done. You might not be clear on your priorities. What is it that's important for you right now? You might be struggling just getting enough clients coming in. You might be struggling with cash flow or just simply asking for what you're worth. You might be feeling invisible, not being known for what you do or what your story is, that perfect person that has so much to give, but no one knows about you. You might be struggling with technology, social media. You might be struggling with procrastination, just not simply taking the action that you know that you need to take, and then taking the right action and being confident in doing that. What is the right action? You might be feeling frustrated after spending a lot of money on courses and all sorts of things, but you're still not making progress. I hear you. I have been in all of these places. Now, what I want to ask you to do is just turn off all your distractions. I know it seems like a long time and it's nice to play with Facebook or something else while things are going on. But if you are just present, you will get so much more out of this time that we're together. So just be open to a new way of thinking. What I'm going to show you here could be press some of your buttons a little bit maybe, but just be open. Put aside what you think that you know, put it aside. You can pick it up later and just be open to a new way of looking at things. Albert Einstein says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So chances are what you've been doing is not been working. So how can we look at that differently? And this is the opportunity to do that. So in the next 90 minutes, we're going to show you how you can own your power in 2021 and beyond. What I'm going to show you here is going to be life-changing strategies for you, for some of you who have perhaps not heard some of this information before. And I'm going to endeavor to do the best I can to give you as much of what I have so you can actually move forward from this time together today. And then, of course, if you want to continue this journey with us, there is an opportunity at the end. We don't want to disappoint you and send you away. What next? We do have a what next. How can we perhaps move forward in an even greater way if you're needing that support and that help? So what is owning your power? What's that actually mean? So for me, it's having a clear focus. It's feeling calm, centered, and relaxed. It's just being grounded in yourself without being all over the place. It's knowing who you are and what you stand for. It's living the life you desire, having the choice. And it's feeling good about yourself. So when you are congruent with yourself, you feel good. And when you feel good, you attract more good into your life. And it's being at ease with yourself. And when you're at ease with yourself, it's so much easier for other people to be around you and for you to be with them as well. And it's believing in yourself. It's saying, yes, I'm going to go and do this, and then you don't do it. But it's about having those strong boundaries and then upholding your what you say you're going to do. Oh, and there's a surprise. So if you're going to stick with us to the end of this time that we time together today, we do have a surprise for you, just simply for being on this call. So stick around. Now, what I'm going to show you is I have put together what I call the 5 simple secrets to own your power. This is derived from my life experience, where I have been, and all the knowledge that I have gained and qualifications along the way. So I put it all together to make it into 5 simple secrets that will help you move forward with volition and knowing, having a clear pathway forward. Now, this is Susan, who came along to me to one of my workshops, and she was feeling afraid of feeling. That sounds really weird, I know. But she was a very driven woman. She was very focused in her business, very successful, and very confident. And yet there was a part of her she knew that she had shut down and didn't want to feel. Like she described it as being in her masculine. She wanted to feel more of that softer side of herself, or just feel her emotions. And she was scared to go there. Now, what Susan was lacking was awareness. Okay, so what she needed to know is just, first of all, having that first step of awareness. And having awareness, that is the pathway to transform. So the paradigm shift, or the shift in the thinking here, is your body is a vehicle to become aware. I know that sounds really weird, but it's through our body that we can experience life more. It's not throughout what we think in our head and outside of us, but it's actually when we live in our bodies. Like we're here in this physical container, and when we actually live in it, we can experience more, and when we listen to it. So let's understand a little bit about the body, if our body is the pathway to awareness. So the first part, as we all know, we have this physical body. Okay, this is flesh and blood. We can touch it, we can feel it. And then we have the mental body. That is our thoughts that surround us. And then we have our emotional body. Okay, so that's the emotions. That's how we feel. If you walk into the room, you can actually feel sometimes what people are feeling or thinking. You kind of get that sense of their energy. And of course, that's what we call their energy body around us. Some people have bigger energies than others. Some people have contracted their energy. And people who can see auras can see these energies. So energy is everything. Thoughts and beliefs is what decisions we make based on what we learn from our environment. So the things that we grow up with, from our parents, society, what we have been taught, that is energy around us. That is what we hold. And the hurts and the traumas, okay, so that's also what we hold in our body. So anything that is emotion, energy in motion, the way that we feel about ourselves, we hold in our body and around our body. And what becomes a hurt or a trauma is simply when we haven't processed that emotion, processed that energy, and we hold that within ourselves. So our thoughts and how we feel about ourselves is created when we are young. So this is basically the foundation of our life. So right from the baby, or like when we're in the womb, right through to the age of about 7 or 9 years old. That is when we are created. That's when we are programmed. And it's out of this that we live the rest of our life, unless we consciously change that or go in and address these things that we have perhaps thought to be true and to help us through those young years, but are no longer serving us in our later life. So the key learning here is awareness is realizing what your thoughts and feelings are. So first of all is simply noticing the thoughts that we have and what feelings we have. So it's bringing that unconscious patterns that we develop when we're young children to become more conscious. What is it that we're living out of? What beliefs are we living out of? What hurts and traumas are we living out of, and making our decisions in an unconscious fashion? So that's the first step, is becoming aware of that. The next step is to acknowledge that. Okay. So when we acknowledge what we're feeling, instead of denying, suppressing it, that is where we need to go to. So oftentimes things happen. We might get frustrated at something, and we push it away. We try not to feel it. Something happens and we just go, oh, I'm not going to deal with that. And you push through, and you deny how you're really feeling. You don't want to go there. So it's giving our power away. It's like looking into the mirror and seeing that you've got sunnies on. And we're trying to take the sunnies off the image in the mirror rather than realizing it's actually on our face. So we think our problems are outside of us and around us. And if we can just change what's outside of us, just change, pull those glasses off the mirror, then everything will be fine. But the thing is, it's within us. It's on us. It's we ourselves make the difference. It's not outside there. It's not out there. So this is a little bit of my story. I was not in my power. About 9 years ago, I was sitting in my home feeling very frustrated. My children had left home. They'd all grown up and left the nest. And I was busy trying to make my business work, and I was single, and I was just down. I was just denying what was going on for myself, but I didn't know it at that time. I was just busy blaming, oh, woe is my life. And I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to face the world. I just wanted to like curl up and just, nah, it's all too hard for me. And this is where I was at. I thought, this is ridiculous. I can't keep going this way. How it all happened was I was living out of my formative years, my programming. So what happened for me was my mother was labeled manic depressive bipolar schizophrenia. And as a young baby, a young child, I had nowhere to go. I don't know if you've ever been around someone that is not on medication when they're in a manic state. They are scary. I remember seeing my mother as an adult when she was not on her medication, and she was scary. I wanted to run. And I realize now today that me as a young child, I had nowhere to run. So the only place I could go was hide and be the good girl and not say boo and not make waves, but do everything I was told by my mother or whoever. And I completely withdrew, and I didn't have a voice, because if I ever spoke up, I would be shut down and I would be like controlled. So I just fitted in with other people. I was the good girl. Then my parents separated and divorced when I was about age 12, and my dad remarried. That's me up the top, in case you're wondering. I had 3 siblings, and I inherited a 3, so that made 7 of us. And my dad and mum, new mum, became involved in what I call a religious environment. And I took on that environment for myself as well. I took on those beliefs of that religious belief system, believing that there was a certain way to live. And it was quite almost cult-like, because we only associated with people within our realm in the church. We didn't associate with people outside. So therefore that helped, that stopped me from making some decisions. Like, I wanted to run and do athletics, but that was on the Sabbath, and you couldn't do any work or play on the Sabbath. So I didn't do that. So I made these decisions along the way that shut me down because of my belief system. So another story that I told myself, and what I believed I could and couldn't do because of my beliefs, was I was not allowed to express myself through my body in the way that I wanted to. And that was quite sensually and sexy, I guess. So I loved to dance. So I compromised myself and took up ballroom dancing rather than jazz. I don't know how I got that, but that's what I decided. So I told myself these stories of the certain things I could and couldn't do. And of course, as I went through life, I took on these layers of baggage. I took on these feelings. I remember thinking, life gets worse. It gets awful. You break up with the boyfriend and you get hurt, and you just hold on to all this stuff, and it doesn't get better. It gets worse. This was what I felt back then. So the key learning here is acknowledging what's going on. So acknowledge that real change happens within yourself, not outside of yourself. It's not in the circumstances around you. It's not what other people tell you, but it's simply realizing that we have the power within us and acknowledging that. The next one is accepting. Okay, so these 3 are quite closely related, but they are distinct steps that actually make all the difference. So the next one is accepting. Accepting that we've got a certain amount of crap. Let's learn from it and create something better. And what I say is turn your crap into gold. So we're always feeling that life was getting worse and getting horrible, and I didn't want to go. I just thought life got worse. I realized that was my gold. That was where I hadn't gone, that I denied myself. So we have 2 choices in life. One is, if you don't like something, change it. And you go, hang on a minute, what if I can't change it? If you can't change it, accept it. Whoa, that's a biggie. This is exactly what I had to face. My life circumstances was, I was married for about 13, 14 years, and I separated. And my children were aged 3, 4, and 5. And my ex-husband took them away from me. He took them 1,600 Ks away in interstate, and my children, without my consent. And I had a choice then, a choice I didn't want to make. Do I fight for my children to come back, or do I just relent and let them stay with my ex-partner? So it was a tough decision for me to make, but I decided I needed to accept the circumstances for the benefit of my children. Because honestly, at that time, I was an emotional wreck. I couldn't cope with myself, let alone 3 children, let alone without any help. Whereas my ex-partner, my husband, he had support around him. He had family. He had people that could help him with the children. And I felt at that time, the best thing for then was to leave them with him, as much as it pulled out my heartstrings. And that's what I'm talking about, is Sometimes it's just the way we change and look at things that makes the difference. So from there, I went on a personal development journey. Because what I realized was my life wasn't quite working the way I wanted it to work. So then what I did is I went out and learned all the things I could do, like go and learn nonviolent communication. I became a master results coach. I became an NLP trainer. And then I realized all these how-to things helped me to a certain extent, but it still wasn't quite working. I still hadn't learned what I really needed to learn to really make my life different. And then I realized there was something more. It was inside of me. It's how I felt. So then I went and did energy work, medical intuitive, breakthrough session with DeMartini, access consciousness, live wave therapy, healing life's hurts, all of these things, and realized that I had to go within. Feeling is healing. When I went within myself, into my body, that's when things transformed. So I just want to liken this to putting things away in a cupboard. So you just imagine you've got lots of things you just stuff in the cupboard. That's how we do our emotions, is we stuff it all in. And this is certainly what I did, is stuff everything into the cupboard. No one's going near me. I put up big walls. No one is coming near me. No one's going to know what I'm thinking or feeling. I'm good. I put on this face that I'm good. And if anyone comes near me, I just kind of shut them out. But when I opened the cupboard and had a look, it feels messy. It feels scary. And inside of that cupboard, I had anger, I had nervousness, I had doubt, I had joy, I had hurt, I had embarrassment, I had thankfulness, I had jealousy, I had sadness, I had shame. And you might notice that, yeah, there's some like what you would label as like positive things like joy. The thing is, if we're unable to feel the things that we don't want to feel, we cannot feel the things that we want to feel. And I remember feeling into my body and I could not find any joy. I could not remember any joyful, happy moments, not really, because I had suppressed so much emotion within myself, so much negativity, that I couldn't even feel the joy. It was not there. And I thought, where am I ever going to be happy? Because I'd suppressed everything, including the things that I wanted to feel. So another way of looking at this is looking at like what we call the Johari window. Is there's certain things that we know about ourselves and there's things that other people know about us. Okay, and mine was very small. It was like, you're not knowing much about me. And then there's things known to you. So I had a lot of things hidden to myself. And so therefore, a lot of people didn't even know that about me. So I wasn't even able to put myself out there in business because I'd hidden so much of myself. I'd suppressed so much of my story. I suppressed so much of who I was that other people didn't even see me. So I became invisible. And then there's things that are blind, that I'm blind to myself. So there's things that other people can see, but I wasn't even aware of. So for example, how shut down I was. I didn't know that, but other people could see that. And then there's a mystery self. So there's things known to yourself and unknown to yourself and unknown to others. So that's the place that's to be explored. So what we need to do is bring more of that hidden self into the open, bring more of that blind self into the open, and then we can explore more of the mystery of who we are as well. So in a sense, what we're doing is we're expanding ourselves, expanding our vibration, expanding our energy, expanding who we are, and people are able to see us a whole lot more clearly, especially when we have a business that we want to get out there. But it's first facing the fear and going within. So what is it that's standing in your way? What is it that's holding you back? And I'd love you to type in the chat. What's holding you back? What's your fears? It could be like the story of who am I to share my story? Like, what do I know? Like, there's so many people better than me out there. Who am I to do that? Or you might think, oh, I can do it all by myself. I don't need any help. I can get through this by myself. Or your partner won't let you. Or now's not the right time. I'm going to wait until I've got my business up and running online, until my website's going, or until I have an amazing partner in my life, or until my children are left home, whatever it is. When's the right time? I'd love to know what's holding you back. I haven't seen anything in the chat, but yeah, feel free to share. What is it that holds you back? You don't have the money.
Yes, please pop into the chat. If you're watching this on Facebook or on Zoom, please pop into the chat. What is holding you back now that you're aware of, or what has held you back in the past? Love to hear from you in the chat there. Thank you.
They're a shy bunch today. It's all good. Okay. All right. So even if you just acknowledge it to yourself, that's the main thing. Okay. You don't have to share it, but just acknowledge it. What's holding you back? Because when you acknowledge what's going on, a problem well stated is a problem half solved. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a process. So tending to others. Thank you, HS, for sharing that. So yeah, giving to other people, I totally get that. It's just simply sharing, giving too much. Myself is holding me back. Yeah, we stand in our own way. Absolutely. It's just like that negative chatter coming in and going, yeah, just holding yourself back. Lack of time and money. Okay, so there's another belief system that we're holding on to is like, is there a lack of time? Is there a lack of money? If you look around you, we all have the same amount of time and there's money everywhere. So why is it that we're lacking that? So thanks for sharing those things, because why don't you just take that thought and see, I'm just going to do a process here now to feel what's going on for you. So just take that thought, that belief that's holding you back, and see if you can just feel that in your body. So just close your eyes, take a big breath. And just see if you can feel, where is that in your body? Is it in your throat? Is it in your heart? Is it in your gut? Is it in your head? Where does your awareness go to of that belief? And then I want you to notice any physical sensation that is coming up for you. So it could be a throbbing, it could be like a feeling of a darkness or a feeling of tingling or whatever that is. I just want you to notice that and be with that. So this is the very beginning part of where we start to learn to feel. And when we can really feel, that is when our body can shift and move and start to heal and process it. So when we can get really in touch with the feeling, so it might be a feeling of shame, it might be a feeling of anger, it might be a feeling of embarrassment. What is it, that feeling that comes up for you? And just to really acknowledge that, where does that come from? How did that come there in the first place? And chances are it's something that's happened in your past that is still playing out today. So it's just simply a feeling in your body. So as soon as you go out there and you want to, perhaps, yes, I'm going to go and get a new client today. And then all of a sudden you go, it's that feeling in your body that has not been acknowledged and processed that is actually stopping you. So it's not like an energy blockage in your body. So I'm just going to click through the rest of the here. So relax your body, notice any physical sensations, notice the thoughts and emotions, and then notice the sensations. So that is a process that you can go through and start to connect. What is it that's stopping you? Because it's not just the thought, it's actually an energetic blockage. It's in your body somewhere. And it's when we acknowledge that and move that it will transform.
Foxy, I've just got a few comments in here in the Zoom chat. We've got Skylar has said, we are our own enemies, lol. Brenda said, scared that I don't have enough knowledge. has been stopping her. And Christiane said not moving forward. And if anyone would actually like to share, maybe unmute yourself and share what that process was like for you. I know what came up for me, Foxy, is that I thought about intimacy with relationships, and immediately I felt heat in my throat. And I know that that's from trauma where I had an ex-boyfriend that strangled me. I know that even though I've done a lot of work on that, I still felt some heat in my throat, which was interesting just then. So even when you do work on yourself, sometimes things can still come up, right? So if anyone would like to share on the live Zoom, if you want to unmute yourself and share what that process was like, or if anything came up for you, if you would like to do so, then please just unmute yourself if you're game, if you have courage today. We're talking about courage to own your power. If you have courage to share, or if you'd like to share, then please do. Or maybe just pop into the chat if you're watching this. There's a few people watching on Facebook too. So thank you. Welcome to those on Facebook. Any comments or about your experience there would be great.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Aldwyn, because that is so true. Because oftentimes we think business is head related, like logical, but we're an emotional being. Okay, we're in a body that's lots of energy going everywhere, and sometimes we think this is what we need to do, but energetically we become stopped and stuck. And it's facing that fear is what's going to shift our outer world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so thank you to everyone for sharing vulnerably there in the chat, and love to hear from you. How was that process for you? If you just did that process, was there something new that came up, or did you feel a sensation in your body in a certain area that you haven't maybe felt before?
And I noticed I did go through it fairly quickly. So for some people, it might take a little bit longer to really connect and to be really relaxed. But this is something you can go away and do this by yourself.
So HS just said she felt a heaviness in her heart.
Yeah, yeah, and that's coming from somewhere, okay, and it's coming up in the story that we're telling ourselves that we don't have enough money or time or whatever the story is for us. It's coming from somewhere else, and this is addressing it. So I'm not going into the whole process, but this is just the process starting to connect you into your body.
And we were talking earlier, Foxy. Now, Foxy and I did a half-hour interview earlier as a Facebook Live, and we're talking about the three brains of the body. You know, we have the mental brain, and then we have the heart brain, and we have the gut brain, right? And so it's actually going from our head into our heart and into our gut, where a lot of these, getting present to these feelings can really help you step into your power. Because often we shut those down, as you say, Foxy, we put them in the closet, we shut these feelings away. And if we don't address it, then they're not going anywhere. They'll just create dis-ease in the body. I know Christiane knows about that because she's healed herself of diabetes. This can happen if you don't address your emotional stuff. And not to say there's anything wrong, there's nothing wrong. It just is what it is. And accepting that is a big part of, having that awareness and acceptance and appreciation of that helps you move through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the key point here is acceptance is owning what you feel and think. Okay. So very important is to own that. No one else can make you feel anything. I'm going to repeat that again. No one can make you feel or think anything. We, if we're in our own power, come out of choice. And we can choose to think or feel, no matter what it is. And that might sound a little bit difficult to take on board. But yeah, just ponder that one. Just be open to that. So you do have the power of choice. So the next one is exactly where Aldwyn was going before, is being in alignment with a head and a heart and a gut. So being in alignment with yourself means that you are in your power. Okay, so when we are congruent within ourselves, when our heart speaks and our mind speaks and our gut, they're all in alignment and they're agreement with each other, that is when you're in your power. That is when you can move mountains. So not being in your power means you're reactive. So when I said before, no one can make you think or feel anything, is oftentimes we think it does. If someone says something really nasty to me, I feel hurt. Okay, that is a reaction. That is being triggered by something that someone else has said. And that hurt doesn't necessarily come from what they have just said, but it comes from your childhood. It's come from your programming between when you were a young fetus and the age of 7 or 9. It comes from that. So oftentimes how we get out of alignment is what we label things. We often see life as good and bad. Okay, so we see things in black and white. And as soon as we start labeling things and putting judgment on things, that is when we become out of alignment. Okay, so we want to feel pleasure, but we don't want to feel pain. We want to feel joy, but we don't want to feel sorrow. Okay, so we want to like something, but there's things that we don't like. And we want to be around happy people, but we don't want to be around sad people. We don't want to feel sadness. So it's when these places that we don't want to feel and go, it shuts down the places that we do want to go, as I described before when I had all my emotions stuffed in the cupboard. So it's like having a spinning top. You imagine a spinning top that's painted black and white, one half black and one half white, and you spin it really fast. What color is it? It's gray. Okay, so what happens is we're embracing both sides and we become more in alignment. It's like embracing the good girl or good boy, and also equally embracing that bad girl, the place that we're told we shouldn't go, or that bad boy. Don't go there, don't do that. So this is definitely something of my story, was embracing that bad girl. Is once the church disintegrated and I no longer held those religious beliefs, it opened up the doorway of new possibilities because I didn't have that belief system anymore. So I stepped into becoming an exotic dancer. It's something that I probably would have done many years ago, especially when I was a child. I wanted to express myself through the body. It was just an extension of what I naturally did and what naturally came to me. And what I thought was going to be 1 year ended up being 17 years working as an exotic dancer. And along the way, I entered a competition and I won the most sex appeal. Now, I was particularly proud of this award because it was about that confidence that I could show through myself. It wasn't about my legs or my body or what I looked like. It was about that confidence. So this is when I turned my crap into gold. So what I thought was bad and I shouldn't do became my strength. To access your inner power, as Eckhart Tolle says, your body is a shortcut to emotional healing. That's pretty amazing. Profound, I think. Like, our body is such an intelligent brain. And as Aldwyn was saying before, we are so used to living up in our heads and thinking things through, we forget that we actually have a body that is also speaking to us in a different language, I guess. We have our heart and we have our gut and we have our whole body as well. It's not just those three things, but it's when we're in alignment with all three and we're listening to all of ourselves, that is when we're truly in our power. So working as an exotic dancer, I realized for 17 years, I realized more and more women came into the club and they would often say to me, I wish I had the confidence to do what you do. And it wasn't because I wanted to be a dancer, it's because they wanted to have the confidence to be in their body and just stand up to being okay, being in a female body. So I came up with what I call the 9 archetypes or behaviors of inner power. Now, these archetypes relate to men and women equally. There's no difference. When I first created them, I called it the feminine, but it's not. It's both masculine and feminine. So I've dropped those words. So the archetypes is, if I go through them quickly, is the free spirit. It's the warrior, the contender, the pal, the enchantress, the nurturer, the dominatrix, the virginal, and the mysterious. So there's 9 of them, and don't ask me why there's 9. It's just what came to me. It took me about 18 months to put these together. So I created them to help people step into those parts of themselves that they wouldn't normally go. It's that bad girl side or that bad boy side that we dare not go. And as I was a dancer, I realized I needed to step into these different parts of myself, because as you can imagine, there was different customers, different people coming in, and they wanted a different type of girl. So I kind of had to be in a different state or a different role or a different way of being. And as I stepped into these parts of myself that were me, I realized, wow, I kind of like this part about myself. And that in turn helped me show up in my life in other places that I wouldn't have shown up otherwise. For me, it was being assertive. I was definitely not assertive. I was shut down, shy, withdrawn. So when I could step into this part of myself, I realized that there was a new found power that I had within myself. And then, of course, when we're not being in our power, we're not being in our power, and that is in the shadow types that keep you powerless. So I found the courage to share my story eventually by going to the local bulletin. So what happened is I entered a competition called Miss Burlesque, and I went to the local bulletin and I said, yeah, we'll share your story. And I had to go and get a photo shoot. Because I had no photos, so I actually had to go and did a photo shoot as well. And they shared my story, which was pretty amazing. And then from me sharing my story, I actually got my first client, my first business client. This lady came to me because she saw what I was doing, and she wanted to be able to do what I was doing, step into her part of herself that she had suppressed, because she was very focused, very driven, what she called masculine in her business. And she felt that it was just robbing her of her joy. And when she did my workshop, she realized that there was more to life, that she could actually express herself through her body, not just through her mind, which was very empowering for her. And then, of course, because of that, more media led to more media. So then I went into the advertiser, put more out there, more interviews, and then to the Queensland Times. And then I started running seminars for women, helping them. And then even today, getting out there, running workshops, stepping into those places you probably wouldn't normally go, like wearing a wedding dress for my husband. Yeah, pushing those boundaries. So the key learning here is alignment is being congruent in your mind, your body, and your spirit, embracing both the parts that you think are good and the parts that you think are bad. I don't know if you've ever felt on one part you want to do something and on the other part you don't. It's when you can get those two things in alignment is when you rock and roll. How are we going? Are we relating to what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm loving this. Foxy, how's everyone else finding it? What are you getting out of it? Any ahas so far? Just pop into the chat.
A lot of aha moments.
A lot of ahas. Thank you, Skylar.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great. A lot of ahas. Beautiful. If you want to pop into the chat.
Thank you.
What you're getting so far, that would be awesome. Or just one thing you've learned so far, or one thing you're going to take on.
Embrace myself.
Embrace yourself, Skylar. Yes. And yes, HS says, yes, it resonates with me. Beautiful,
Absolutely.
HS.
Thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So when we're in alignment, that's when we have the clarity. That's when we have the confidence. And when we have that, we attract what we want, like cash or the perfect person in our life or the holiday or whatever it is wants. So when we have that knowingness within ourselves, then our outside world becomes more of what we want. So when we're congruent and we can see it and feel it within ourselves and we live it within here, the outside world is a reflection of that. Interesting to hear more about you, Foxy. Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing that, Christine. Okay, so remember there is a surprise at the end, just reminding you there for hanging in there. Good on you guys for sticking out and being with us. And I'm glad that this is actually resonating with you, because this is what I love to do. I love to help people on their journey. It excites me. I'm like the mother hen, you know, like my children are left home, so who else can I nurture and look after? So yeah. The next one is accountability. Okay, so 93% of people fail without support. I know that's a scary statistic, and you go, oh my goodness, where does that come from? It's actually done by a survey done with people in business, CEOs. People that really succeed in life, they get help. They get mentors, they get coaches, they get therapy, they get whatever they need to get them to where they want to go. Without that, you pretty much will fail, because without support, only about 7% of people actually have this within themselves, and they would have had an amazing childhood where they were told that they were Superman or Superwoman, and they believed it when they were a child. But the thing is, most of us, we're told no many times as a young child, and come across things when we were young and made certain decisions when we were young that have not served us in our later life. So we need people that will help support us get there. So remember Susan at the beginning, I was talking about her and how she was afraid to feel into what was going on for her. The very next day after doing the work with me, she realized that feeling emotions wasn't that bad. It didn't actually kill her. And because she could connect with herself, she could connect with her clients in her workshop, and she sold more of her program to those people than she normally would have, simply by being more relatable and helping them work through their fears of what was stopping them. Because you cannot help someone go somewhere where you have not been. I'm going to repeat that again. You cannot help anyone go somewhere if you haven't already been there yourself. I'm just going to leave that with you. So what we want to do is embrace that crap and turn it into gold. Because it is your gold. It is your gift. That thing that you think that everyone knows, that no one's interested in, the thing that you find really easy and you go, meh, that's your gold. So there's key learning here. Accountability is make sure you stay true to yourself and turn that self-sabotage into self-empowerment. Turn what you believe is not good enough or can't do or no one's interested. That's your gold. That's your power. And having someone else help you through those doubts definitely helps. So there you have it, the 5 simple steps to being in your power and owning your power. So if you do each one of these, you're going to rock and roll in 2021 and beyond. Now, as I said before in the beginning, if you want to have more help, it's definitely stick around, because I'm going to talk about that very shortly. So the key learnings here is the real problem is not outside of yourself, but it's inside of you. We react out of autopilot. So that's out of our reaction. We're not reacting out of choice. So the only way to react out of choice is to hurts and traumas within ourselves and change those belief systems. When we own both parts of us, the good and the bad, that's when you own your power. The shortcut to emotional healing is through your body. Your body is the vehicle to show you the way. Listen to your body. And we're all in this together, okay? So to make your life easier and more fun, I'm about fun. I don't like doing anything that's not fun. And fun to me is being with other people and working with other people. And I just love being on this call here with Aldwyn. This has just taken me being out there to a whole new level. So it has been fun, hasn't it, Aldwyn?
Yes, awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Fox. You've been nurturing me too, because that Reclaim Your SAS retreat was very eye-opening for me. I loved it, and I got some great breakthroughs at that event. So I'm one of your tribe now too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we support each other. So that's the beauty of it. We all have something beautiful to bring, and we can nurture and look after each other, you know, bring your gifts, and we all learn from each other. We rise together. We help each other. And I don't believe in this one person up there who knows everything. That's, you know, gone are those days.
Absolutely, we do. We're all teachers and we're all learners at the same time. We're all teachers and students. HS says, loving these words of wisdom. Thank you, HS.
Yeah,
HS
thank you.
from Adelaide, and we have Skylar from LA, and we have people from the Gold Coast. Skylar, yes.
Now, when you mentioned about body, the healing is just everything is reflected the body. I'm reading a book called The Body Keeps a Score, and it just everything about that. It's just amazing, and I cannot be more agreed with you about the body part. That's the thing we need to understand and learn, and it's really important for me to understand myself, understand my body, and then I can heal from inside out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Thanks for sharing that, Scarla. Absolutely. All right. So this is Jessie. Now, if you knew Jessie's story, like her childhood was absolutely incredibly traumatic. If you read a book about it, you probably still wouldn't believe it. And she understood that healing was through the body. And in just one session, I helped her move through some places that she felt stuck and shut down. And it heals you on a cellular level because of that energy and motion. When energy stops being in motion in your body, it becomes calcified, I guess, or becomes physical. So that's what we call dis-ease in our body. So when it's stuck there and it doesn't move, it shows up as aches and pains. It shows up as arthritis. It shows up in all sorts of ways that we don't want to feel because of stuff that's happened to us in our past or wherever it's come through. So there's the one thing that you have that no one else has, and that is your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So I urge you to go out there, write, draw, play, dance, and live and share as only as you can. Okay, step into being you. Let go of what other people think. Let go of what you think other people think, and let go of what you think you're supposed to do, and just listen to yourself. Listen to that inner voice that wants to come through. So we've covered a lot of information, and applying can be quite overwhelming. So what can you do about it? So is there an easier way for you? Definitely is, because I have spent, I don't know, most of my life trying to work all this out. And I have created a way that you can do it a whole lot faster than I ever did it. But I just want to precursor this. This is not for people who are not ready to take self-responsibility. So people who are not willing to look at themselves and realize the buck stops here. Okay, if you're not ready for that yet, you're not ready for this. If you want to stay in your story and keep blaming other people, if you want to keep blaming circumstances and woe is me, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have the right partner, I don't have this, or if only, if you want to stay in that story and keep blaming that, it's okay to acknowledge that story, but you want to move through that. So it's not for people who want to stay there. And there's also not for people who are not willing to invest in themselves. I know Aldwyn has spent a lot of money on herself, and I have definitely spent a lot of money on myself over the years. And I believe this is a journey. It's a journey of life. It's fun to move through and to grow and heal and open myself up to more. And to do that, I've had people help me along the way. I've had mentors and coaches and therapists and workshops and all sorts of things to help me to where I am today. So it is for people who want to gain clarity, confidence, and cash flow in 2021. It's for people who want to own their power and turbocharge their life, their business, relationships, and who are ready to be seen and known, okay? Who are ready to come out of the box, have that courage, pop your head up, go, okay, I'm here. It's ready, it's for you, okay? And it's for people who value themselves, okay, in their journey through life. And you want to make a bigger difference and perhaps even leave a legacy, leave something for others. So what I have here is what I call Reclaim Your Inner Power Mastery Program, okay? And in this program, I go through the 9 archetypes as it's kind of weaved in to help us step into those places that we perhaps have ignored. And there's 8 modules, okay? So in the 8 modules, we've got the first module is rewriting a story. So just having a look at where you're at and where do you want to go? What new story do you want to create for your life? Instead of living out of the old story, we're going to create a new story of what we want to live. And remember, that starts within ourselves. The next module is giving yourself permission. How do you step into that? How do you become that? And we do that through module 3 is learning to connect into your body. Now, what I've done is I've broken these modules down step by step. So they're very easy to implement into your life. They don't take up a whole heap of time. Okay, so they can implement into whatever you're doing. And you just notice yourself transform over 8 weeks. Okay, you can do it over sooner. You'll have access to them straight away. But I suggest that you do them weekly because then you can really play with each one. The next one is staying in your body. Learn to stay there. So you connect into your body. Now, how do I stay in there? Like, how do I really be there rather than not go back into your head? Okay. And then when you learn to do that, oh my goodness, I'm going to have a drink of water, getting ahead of myself. When we connect into our body, that's when you start connecting to your power. That's when you start feeling that and going, oh my goodness, I've got a whole lot of new choices here. And then as you shift and change yourself, is the next one is you need to set some boundaries around you. So other people are going to realize that you're showing up a little bit different. And you might have to set some rules or something to keep yourself safe while you're doing this as well. And then learning to love yourself more and accepting yourself more through this process. So in this program click on here. So what we have is the 8 modules and the exercises. We have 8 group coaching calls and that goes for 8 weeks. Okay. And then I also give you full email and phone support for the 8 weeks. And you also get lifetime access to the private Facebook group. So any questions or anything that comes up, connecting with other people. Plus, you also get the 6 one-on-one personal breakthrough sessions with myself. So I actually spend time with you, and whatever comes up for you is the perfect thing for you and help you work through that. And you can take those breakthrough sessions anytime up to 6 months. So you don't have to take them all at once, and you can do the modules at any time that you want. I suggest that you do them weekly. You'll be sent a link to each module each week, so you can just work through them. Okay, and you have that email and phone support with me as we go through. Now, all of that, the total value is $3,691. Okay, so that is what, if you wanted to buy them all individually, and that's the value that you would actually get out of it. Now, don't worry, you're not going to pay that much, okay? What I have done is I've come up with something that I believe is of great value, and I'd love to give it to you for free, but I know when we receive something for free, we don't value it enough. So I wanted to put something on it that you will value it and that you will do it, because this will transform your life. So I'm always going to give you this amazing offer today is because I want your success story. Okay, your success is my success. Like I said before, I'm like the mother hen. I get excited when I see people just transform and blossom into who they really are rather than the story they think that they are. And I'm building a community, okay, a big one. So what I'm offering you here is I'm going to give you the 8 modules for free, the exercises for free, the coaching calls for free, the email and phone support for free, even the lifetime access to asking me any questions on Facebook for free. But I'm going to ask you to invest in yourself and pay $997. Okay, so your investment today is just $997 for this amazing program that I've put together that I know will help you transform your life. Okay, well, after women have been through this, it's just, yeah, it's just exciting just to see how people start thinking differently. Now, if you want to take advantage of this, I suggest you can jump on a call with me. So I just want to check in with you that it's so that you are the right fit. So if you want to type this into your browser, HTTPS.
I'll pop it in there now, Foxy.
Yeah. /lovelifematters.com.au/call. Now that will take it to my Calendly link page. I've opened up spots today and tomorrow that you can just jump on a call with me and see if this really is something that is really going to work for you and be the right fit. So you can do that now and just book in a call. It can be straight away if you want. It says 45 minutes, but it doesn't necessarily have to take that long. But it's just to check in with you, that see that this is something that is actually going to serve you, and where do you want to go? I want to know where you're going and what you're wanting to achieve, because there's only a certain amount of people that I can work with. And yeah, I want people that will actually show up. Yeah, because it's more fun walking with someone that actually wants to take responsibility for themselves.
Yep, and that's
so that is in the chat.
That's
what
Australian dollars. That's Australian dollars too. So for those in America,
Australian
it's a lot cheaper. It's cheaper American, probably, I don't know, 700-ish American maybe.
Yeah. So can you do this another way? Yeah, you could go out there and search for other courses, you know, and pay a whole lot more money. You could just go and spend years like I did trying to figure it all out yourself, or you just do nothing. That's okay. That's cool. But the thing is, if you want to really change 2021 and have the life that is going to be much more fun to live, then we've got a bonus for you. All right. So, but this is only for the first 5 people that jump on this. And this is what Aldwyn is offering as well. So not just what I'm offering, but also Aldwyn is throwing this in.
That's right. I'm throwing this in, and this is for the $997. You also receive my awesome Media Magic program. If you just go to the next slide there. Now, for those who don't know me, by the way, I have 36 years media experience. I'm a photojournalist by trade. So my specialty is helping to find the gems of your story, the gems of what you do, help package you up so that you can be seen, heard, and known, so you can build your fame, your fortune, your freedom, and leave a legacy. And we do that through free publicity by getting you on TV, radio, print, and also getting you out online on podcasts, online TV shows, etc. So that's my specialty. I help with branding, etc. And what I'm sharing in this program is my awesome Media Magic formula. And the awesome stands for, the A is about articulating your story. Now, often we are too close to our story to see how amazing we are and what the actual newsworthy aspects are of our story. And so I help you articulate your story, to find those gems in what you do, and to help package you up with the W as our next step, is working angles that media will love. So this is journalists that I target, so you get free publicity. We work the angles that media are going to love, so that you don't pay for advertising, waste money on advertising, that you actually get free publicity and you get that third-party credibility, that influence, and you make a much bigger difference by building your profile out there, so you can earn more money and have more freedom doing what you love. Then the E of the awesome steps is to elevate your profile. So I have trainings, I have 1-hour trainings on each of these steps here. Elevating your profile is about then packaging up, once you know your angles, packaging up what you do with a press release, with visuals, and with a pitch. And when it comes to pitching to media, you have 45 seconds to get the media's attention. Journalists are very busy people, so I show you exactly what to do there. Then startling the media. The S is startle the media, and that's getting the media's attention, wowing the media, so that you get better coverage with what you do. And then the O is own your power. Of course, that's what we're talking about here today. I also have a 1-hour recorded module about owning your power. So as part of the awesome steps, you get the recording for that as well. M is for mastering interviews. So that's if you want to go out and get interviews on podcasts or online shows. I teach some strategies there of things to do before, during, and after interviews to make the most of your media interviews. And then the E is for exploding your impact. So once you get publicity, it's then getting that out to the masses so that the world knows about it. And so you can really leverage off the media coverage you get and use that marketing again and again and again in your marketing mix. Use that publicity so you can build your brand and keep putting yourself out there as the expert authority in your field. Now, you might not want to put yourself out there in the media. You know, you might just want to share your story, you know, but once you own your power, you'll find that you want to step up and you will want to make a bigger difference in the world. So this is a fantastic option and bonus for you if you do want to go down this way. And this is a program you could also start at any time in the next 6 months as well. So just the next slide there, please, Foxy. Okay, that's the Awesome Media Magic program. So if you can just go through that, Foxy. So we've got 7 modules. They're 1 hour each. We have full email and phone support for 8 weeks as well. So during the time that Foxy is delivering her modules, you'll also have full email and phone support with me. You also get, as part of this, a one-on-one media consultation with me. Now that's worth $1,000 alone just for a media consultation. It goes for up to 3 hours. We go through the gems of your stories. We dig deep, and I write up a full document with your story, with the angles, etc. It's a very comprehensive one-on-one consultation. And moving forward, I am not going to be doing a lot of one-on-one work. Moving forward, it's going to be more group work that I do. So this is a rare opportunity to get access to me at this crazy bonus price, which really this is being thrown in for free when you get Foxy's program. So yeah, total value there is $2,994, and that is all included. So Foxy, if you could just move through those slides. Also, you get lifetime access to the private Mass Media Mastery Facebook group as well. And I have clients there that have paid me a lot more money than this program who are in that private group. We have people from all over the world that have joined our Mass Media Mastery community. And it's fantastic support, lifetime access to that too, which is invaluable because down the track there will be a monthly membership price for that. So anyone who comes in now will get lifetime access, and you get that bonus because you are here today and you're watching this. And if you jump on this offer, which I think is insane, then you'll absolutely love this. So next slide, please, Foxy. Okay, now this is Sheila Mack. Now she's from the US. She's an author in the US, in the LA, actually, LA area, Skylar. And now she and I have been working together this year, and she's had 50 plus media spots in just 1 month after joining my program and after the media consultation that we did together, where she got clear on her angles and on her story, and she pitched it effectively. And she has just been absolutely blitzing it. She has her own Sheila Mack show on NBC's KCAA radio. She goes out to more than 2 million viewers with that now. She's absolutely blitzing it in the US, and you can look her up online. She's all over the place, and she's extraordinary. So Sheila is just one of the people that I've worked with that's had phenomenal results. So you get that whole bonus thrown in as well with today's program. We're going to come to Q&A shortly. So back to you, Foxy.
Yeah, so that looks pretty amazing. So what you get is you'll get Reclaim Your Inner Power Mastery program plus Aldwyn's Awesome Media Magic program. And the value of that is over $6.5 grand. But you're not paying that. All you're paying is $997. And yeah, the limited to the first 5 for Aldwyn's program. Oh, and since you've been here on the call, type surprise in the chat if you want to get the surprise. So the surprise is a recorded version of the Feel to Heal, where you can just start connecting into your body. Yeah, so we'll send that out to those who pop it in the chat. And to get onto this exploratory call, just type this in. I think it was already put in the chat. You can just copy and paste it and just book a call. Now, if you don't see a call available, just simply email me and I can make it, because sometimes the calendar thing isn't completely right of the availability that I have. So yeah, I can just slot you in there. So just, yeah, send me an email if you don't find a spot there. And do we have any payment plans? Awesome to see that. Yeah, I definitely want this. Cool. Oh, yeah. So make sure you jump on that call with me, and we can just go through any finer detail, any questions that you have. We can talk about that. And there's your payment plans. Yes, there's two. So you can actually divide it into two. So you pay half now and half in a month. But if that doesn't quite work for you, we can work something out depending on what calls you have. Yeah, I want to make this available to you, not hold you back. And to be able to work through what you're going through. So so that's the purpose of the call, is just to see where you're at and what you're needing. Yeah. So make sure that you do that. And I think we're over to, thank you for being here. And here's to you owning your power in 2021. And if you have any questions, any personal questions, just save them for the call with me. But if there's any sort of general questions, we can just answer them now.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, Foxy. That was brilliant. If you could stop sharing now so we can see everyone on live Zoom.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to stop sharing, and I'm going to pause recording. So thanks for guys for watching this, and
thank you so much. We've got thank you, Foxy, coming in there from Christiane. Thank you so much. What have you got out of this so far today? What are some ahas? Anything you'd like to share? Any tips that you have on how you own your power? HS says awesome. Definitely book in that call. It's a no obligation call. It's absolutely free with Foxy. So it's definitely worth having a chat. You don't, have to do the program, of course. It's just an option for you. And it is an insane price to get this package, to get access to both of us for that ridiculous $997. It's insane. People pay thousands to work with us normally. So this is a really crazy COVID special that we have here. So, if you do want some extra support moving into 2021, then we are here for you. If you want to have a chat with Foxy, just book in some time with her. That would be wonderful. Okay, what are some ahas in the chat? Thank you everyone on Facebook as well. What are some things you've got out of this? Or anyone want to unmute themselves and share? Would anyone like to share on the live Zoom? And unmute yourself. We'd love to hear from you. Who's going to be game? Who's going to build up the courage today and share? I can see Christiane reaching out. Good on you, Christiane.
What did you get out of it? That's what I mean.
Self-acceptance.
Well, I think, it's good. Working with energy is really what we got to be aware of. And it's good to have someone coaching you through it. And also with your Foxy, all your background and all your experiences really is valuable in guiding people, working with what have them being stuck. And so I really enjoyed the whole presentation, and it's just brought awareness to me of what I can look at, what's not working, and really want to work on little parts of my life that's not working. So can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank
absolutely.
you.
So it's been really valuable to just, like, you're talking about awareness. It's really what we have to step into now, to be real about ourselves and really wanting or committing. You actually mentioned commitment, to really work on ourselves. And so we really have to be committed to that. And so we acknowledge you to present yourself to us and to offer to actually guide us and through things that you've experienced, and actually you have triumphed through your difficulties in life and gathered some wisdom that can really help us through what we're not seeing in a way, and to really make that step forward. So thank you so much for whatever you had to share.
Thanks, Christiane, for sharing that. Absolutely. I'm glad that you got what you needed to get out of it, and moving forward. So that's awesome.
And I just want to say, to add to that, now Christiane and I have done a lot of work together over the years, and she is a transformational coach herself, and she's an expert with things around health nowadays. She is a fantastic person to speak to if you want to lose weight, tone up, or stay younger longer. And all coaches have coaches, right? All great coaches have coaches. And, you know, Christiane is just an awesome person in my life, has been fantastic for me over time. So that's a big compliment coming from you, Christiane. Thank you for that and for being with us today. It's wonderful. And HS and Brenda, anything else that you would like to share? I know Skylar was saying self-acceptance, that she got out of this today is about self-acceptance. I think that's really fantastic. Anyone else like to share anything today? Brenda or HS, what did you get out of it? Or
something else?
Yes, Christiane.
Yeah. So I would like to acknowledge you, Aldwyn. You're just like an amazing woman, and here you are, always promoting everybody. And I think you're really, really great to work with. No doubt you're going to do very well in 2021, which I really wish so much for you. And and working with you is pretty amazing. You've got all this amazing energy. So really value you in my life.
Oh, thank you. Mwah. Thank you, Christiane. Thank you so much. It's so precious when you have people dear to you. It's important to let them know how precious they are to you. You know, I've lost 8 friends or so in the last year, and 7 of them under the age of 60. You know, a third of people die by the age of 65. And often, you know, we often don't appreciate people enough. We often don't appreciate ourselves enough. You know, we don't acknowledge ourselves or others anywhere near as much, I believe, as we could. And this is something I think is beautiful, that we've been acknowledging each other and on this Zoom. And, you know, there's so much that we can be grateful for, and things can always be worth, even through the whole COVID fiasco, much of it we have no control over. We do have control how we're going to be from here forward in every moment. Our moment by moment choices in life is what gives us our power. It's how we help to own our power. And sometimes we can get into auto mode and we get triggered by things and we get into disempowering states. And that's when, if you're stuck or if you get into those places and you'd like to get out of them quicker than you normally would, then definitely reach out and seek experts in their field. If you want to fast track your success, if you want to save yourself time and money in the long run, then reach out to people that you feel comfortable working with, and go from there, because really what you put in, you'll get out. You know, no one's got the magic pill that we're going to just say, here you go, take this magic pill and you'll be sorted. You know, it's really an ongoing process, and it is about your environment, having a fantastic group of people around you and really appreciating your amazing people in your life that are standing for what's possible for you. So thank you for those lovely comments, Christiane. It's really beautiful, and I appreciate everyone who is watching this right now. It's really very special, and there's a reason you're here today. And whether you work with us or not, you know, we stand for you standing for your power, owning your power. And the more we each own our own power, the more we can impact the world around us and create a better world right around the board. So thank you, Christiane. It's lovely. Anyone else share anything?
I just want to thank you, Christiane, for that as well, because I totally agree with you. Aldwyn is amazing. She reminds me of taking, don't take this wrong, all right? She reminds me of taking this really energetic dog for a walk, and she's whoa, going for the ride.
Oh, that's hilarious. I'm like an energetic dog. Yeah. I'm actually more a cat person than a dog person, but my cat, I must say, is not very.
Yeah, I know. No. Could be a horse. It was like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Foxy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, that energy comes from me loving my life now. And as I said, I've had depression. I've had 4 friends take their own lives. It's tragic. You know, 1 million people a year worldwide take their own lives. And it's often because they're not living lives they love. They're not in their own power. They feel despondent. They feel depressed by what they hear in the mainstream media. If you believe everything you hear in the mainstream media, you will end up depressed and potentially suicidal, right? So do not believe everything you hear. And having worked as a journalist behind the scenes, I can tell you there's hidden agendas with what we're hearing. We're not getting the whole truth in the media, and it's important to do your own research with everything. And at the same time, remember, things can always be worse. There's a reason you're here. Everything has brought you to this point, and it's your choice. It's up to you now where you're going to take this. And if you feel anything in your heart that you feel now is the time for you, then please reach out. We're here to support you. Reach out for a free call with Foxxy. If you want to reach out to me personally too, I'm happy to offer a call with anyone too. So just reach out, send me a private message on Facebook, and I would love to chat with you as well. Just mention that you saw us here on the live webinar, and you can go back and watch the replay. It is on the Aldwyn Altuney profile on Facebook, and we will share it also to Media Queen TV on YouTube as well, to my channel there. There's over 550 videos now on Media Queen TV. Can you believe that? Insane. I've just been pumping out the video content, and I love it. So so please come and join us. Seek support if you want to take things to another level, fast track your success. Now we have some comments in the chat. Brenda says, enjoyed the presentation. It reinforces what I've been working on for myself. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful, Brenda. HS says, you're both amazing women. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Any other comments, ahas, questions from anyone? I'll check the Facebook, see if there's any questions over there. Foxy, how are you feeling today?
Foxy.
Foxy. Okay, no questions in Facebook at this stage. I know we've got a few viewers over there. I can see you are viewing us on Facebook. So where are you coming to us from? Where are you right now in the world watching this? And what's something that you have got out of this and action you're going to take moving forward if you're watching the replay of this? Love to hear from you. Or any questions, just pop them into the chat there. Well, New Year coming up just around the corner, just 2 days away. Can you believe it? I'm just, this year's been phenomenal. And, you know, some people have crashed and some people have flourished in this time. So most millionaires are created during biggest times of depression. Not that it's all about the money, but if you have money, you can help a lot more people and you can make more choices with what you have. You can have more choices with what you do. So, you know, money is just a tool to help you get where you want to go and help others get where they want to go. And, you know, it is also, money is something it's important to give and receive money, to be open to the flow of money coming in and out of your life so that you can really appreciate the abundance. So, you know, when you're paying out bills, when you're paying out, just be grateful for that, and also allow the money to flow back in as a tool to take things to another level for you as well. And money is a sign that you've been of service, and that's really what it's about. Nothing happens until a sale happens, right? Until there's an exchange of money, then you can actually start to do things, right? Because if you pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you don't value it. And that's why we're not doing this for free, right? Clearly, it's about us valuing ourselves as well and what we do. So thank you, Foxy. It was amazing. Love the presentation. Any final comments from anyone else? Foxy, you want to say anything else?
Yeah, no, thank you so much for hosting this. I much appreciate your just ability to go out there and promote. Like, it's just incredible. And yeah, definitely it just when we're ready to step into what we have to share, you know, that's important to go out there and let people know. And
Absolutely.
You are an amazing promoter, and I know you definitely can help so many people. Just, you know, first of all, acknowledging their story, and by just getting it out there, because that just takes it to the whole new level of confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, the biggest regret of the dying is not being true to yourself. So here we are inviting you to be true to yourself, or be more true to yourself, right? Dig deeper. Just what else do you want to do with your life? What is it that lights you up? You know, step into that power, leave a legacy, you know, charge more for what you're doing, build your fame, fortune, freedom. Leave a legacy for your kids, if nothing else, or your grandkids, or for the people around you. You know, the more you step up, the more you will help others step up into their power, and you can be an example for your family the more you step up and for those you really care about. And, you know, I see way too many people die with the music in them, and who haven't, you know, put themselves out there in any way. And all we have to remember people by is a few photos, right? Which is tragic, because, you know, if a photo is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000 words. So if you are nervous at all about putting yourself out on video, then reach out, because that's what I help people do. I help people overcome their fears when it comes to putting themselves out in the media. And Foxxy helps you with the inner work, right?
Yeah.
I do the outer work. Foxxy does the inner work. And, you know, together we're a pretty phenomenal combination. I think, Foxxy.
I think, yeah, turbocharged 2021.
Yes, here we go. So I hope you had a beautiful Christmas, everyone watching this, and here's to an awesome 2021. And can't wait to share more of it with you. And please do pop your comments and any questions in the chat, and we will come back to you. We'll be monitoring that, and reach out for a call. I've put the link for the call with Foxxy if you want to book that in. I've put that link into the chat on Facebook and on the Zoom chat. And for anyone on the live Zoom, you can also save the chat if you would like to. If you just go down to the chat section and just go to the 3 little dots on the right, there's a section there that says save chat. Okay, so you can save the chat if you are on the Zoom. All right, any final words, Foxxy? Anything else to say? Or anyone else who's on the live Zoom? Anyone else want to say anything? Unmute yourself.
So go forth and have the courage to step into your power.
Yeah.
You just got to take that first step. That's what you got to do.
Yes, fantastic.
Yes, thank you. See you.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, HS. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye.
New Year. See you soon. Bye for now.